Yes, I'm sure that will make millions. But I'm trying to tell you, I'm not going.
What? Have you lost your marbles, Carl?
Apparently, but I'm tired of spending all of our time and getting nowhere. The playground banner said if we don't raise the rest of the money by tomorrow, we won't have time to finish the playground before winter. And we'll have to scrap the whole project until next year. We've been trying all winter, and I seriously doubt if the day will make any difference.
But we've been telling everybody about this for months. There's going to be a lot of people there.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Whatever. I'm going to be late.
Well, back to the story. I was in a very dangerous spot, you see, when all of a sudden...
Carl! Carl! There you are! Where have you been?
I've been right here, trying to tell the children a very interesting story, right?
Oh, hi, kids. Hi. Listen, Carl, you can finish that story later.
The way things are, very doubtful.
The carnival is about to start, and everyone's been looking for you. You're one of our hardest workers.
Daphne, I've been trying to tell everyone I'm not going. There's no reason to believe that we're going to be able to raise all that money in just one day, when we've been trying all winter.
But Carl, don't you remember what that playground is for?
Yes, Daphne, but I doubt that.
It's not just for the church kids to have fun on.
I know, but I doubt.
We're building it so the neighborhood kids can have a safe place to go.
But I doubt.
Carl, some of these kids don't have any place else to go. And if they don't come play on the playground, maybe someday they'll come to church. And they come, maybe someday they'll bring the whole family. Carl, if we don't care about them, who will?
Daphne, I know all of that.
Well, if the rest of the kids believe, why don't you? Don't you remember the swings?
Well, yes.
The slide?
Oh, I like the slide.
The merry-go-round?
Yeah!
How about the jungle gym?
The jungle gym?
What are you waiting for?
Oh, Daphne, I guess I'm just tired of being disappointed.
Doubt, huh? I guess that might just be your new name.
What are you talking about?
Doubting Carl. That fits.
Now, hold on, Daphne. I've always been known as Fearless Carl, Brave Carl, and even Handsome Carl.
Well, you're Doubting Carl, and you better be careful. I know of a guy that got stuck with that nickname for a very long time. It's been over 2,000 years ago, and people are still calling him that.
Calling who what?
Doubting Thomas. He had trouble believing in things too.
Oh, yes, I've heard of him.
Of course you have. He was one of Jesus' disciples.
Yes, he was one of his helpers and a good friend of Jesus.
That's right. Thomas and all the disciples have been with Jesus while he preached for all the people. They saw Jesus care for and heal people, and they saw all the good things he had done. They believed he was the Son of God.
Yes, but then the Romans and the teachers of the law began to be afraid of Jesus because all of the good things he was doing. They planned to kill Jesus. So the disciples had to watch as the Romans crucified him. They nailed him to a wooden cross, and then they pierced him in his side with a spear to make sure he was dead. After that, all hope was gone.
Then one night, the disciples carried together in the upper room of the house. They were alone and scared because they thought Jesus was dead and gone forever.
Oh, yes. But he wasn't dead. He rose again just like he said he would.
He did! And in John 20:19-31, the Bible tells us how Jesus appeared to the disciples in that locked room. He said, "Peace be with you." They were so happy to see Jesus.
But Thomas wasn't there, bless him.
Nope. And what the other disciples told him about seeing Jesus, Thomas did believe them. He said, "Not unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my finger where your nails were, and put my hand on his side," will he believe.
Boy, he really was a doubting Thomas.
I'll say, it's easy to believe when everything is going our way, but when things get tough, we still need to believe that God will do what he says he'll do.
Jesus told Thomas he'd come back. He should have believed him.
He should have, but he didn't. But then, a week later, the disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side. Stop doubting and believe."
Wasn't Thomas scared?
Thomas said to him, "My Lord and my God." Then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe."
Wow, Daphne. I guess I've been foolish not to believe that God will help us if we ask him.
That's true, Carl. And I believe God will help us with the playground. But I think there's something even more important that we can learn from this story.
Like what, Daphne?
Well, Carl, sometimes we might find ourselves in situations where we might think we're all alone and nobody can help us.
You mean like the disciples in that locked upper room?
Yay! Remember Jesus said, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed."
Yes, Daphne. Sometimes things are getting so bad that we just can't see any way out of it. That's when we need to remember that Jesus is always with us, even if we can't see him.
All we have to do is call on Jesus, and he'll be right there with us always because he loves us.
Isn't believing in things we can't see called faith?
Yes. In Hebrews 11:1, the Bible says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen."
Right.
So even when you don't see things going the way that we think they should,
Like the disciples when they thought Jesus wasn't coming back.
we need to keep believing that God is going to work it out anyway.
That's believing in things we can't see.
Now you got it, Carl. You got it.
No more doubting, Carl.
No way!
I'm back to courageous, Carl.
Yay! For sure!
Well, we better get a move on, Daphne.
What about the rest of the story, Carl?
Story? I'm surprised at you, Daphne. What are you doing standing around here when there's work to be done?
Me? But you the one who...
I'm sorry, Daphne, but I can't talk to you all day. We can't let those children down. We've got money to share if we're going to help get the playground built by summer.
Of course. Fearless Carl. What was I thinking? Bye, kids. Bye.
Bye.
Oh,